Hello there everybody and welcome back to Fable 2. Last video we started up a quest for the very creepy Gravekeeper in Bowerstone Cemetery to bring back all the parts of the 500-year-old dead Lady Grey. So, we got the lower body, we got the torso last time, and this time we're going to get the second body piece. We need to go to Wraith Marsh. Unfortunately, you haven't actually found this location. It's a new location, and as far as I know, until you do this quest, you're not able to actually go there. And so, if we want to travel, we will need to go to... I don't really know what's fastest. I'm going to just go from the Drowned Farm. Okay, so I've warped to the Drowned Farm. It might actually be a better idea to go from Bloodstone Road, because we actually need to go back to the area where we fought the troll, which was near the end of the Wraith Marsh. It was right by where we got to Bloodstone after we fought off the last Banshee. But it doesn't really matter which way you do this. It really doesn't take that long either way, and Wraith Marsh really isn't a huge area. It's pretty linear and straightforward, and there's really not a lot of enemies. The only enemies that appear, of course, are just the undead, which, you know, the undead are pretty weak. There's usually a lot of them, but they're not too difficult to take out, and the extra experience doesn't really hurt. So it's up to you if you want to do this the fast way, or if you just want to do this the way that gets you a bit more experience. Alright, so I need to walk down here. And as Victor said in the last video, she actually was burned. Or I guess her head was cut off because she was condemned as a witch. I thought they did witch burnings back in those days, but who knows. So it's kind of interesting that they actually thought that she was a witch. She was a pretty bad person. If you don't know who Lady Grey is, then I suggest going back and watching my Let's Play of the first game. I did a lot of quests with her, and I actually married her. I was a good hero, just like I am in this game, but she was kind of an exception, just because she's such an eccentric, neat kind of character. I totally risked some morale to marry her, just because it's pretty interesting in my opinion. And even though she's evil, she really is one of my favorite characters in the series, just because of the way that she is, and what she does to people, and how much she's gotten away with, and just how evil she is. I mean, if a woman knows how to do evil, it's Lady Grey, that's for sure. I don't know how evil she's gonna be when we resurrect her. I mean, technically, wouldn't she be undead? She'd be a zombie corpse of sorts, I think. Okay, so this actually is quite the walk. But luckily we can run. Alright, so here's where we fought the troll, in this little area here. And all you have to do is come under the bridge. The reason I didn't come here when we were in Wraith Marsh the first time is, first of all, because I was too busy focused on killing a gigantic troll. But also because if you come to this area earlier, you can't go inside. It won't let you, and it doesn't mark it off on your map or anything like that because you're not actually inside the building, so it just wasn't really worth showing off at that particular time and point. But there is actually a building over here. Usually this gate is closed, but now it's opened, and if we go close to it, it's actually Twinblade's tomb, so how cool is that? Okay, so we've unlocked Twinblade's tomb as an area on our map. For those of you who want a little bit of backstory, if you haven't played or heard about anything on the first game, Twinblade was the most famous bandit king in all of Albion 600 years ago, at the time of your first hero, which is the timeline of the first Fable game, and he was actually the guy that burned down your hero's village. He was also the guy that kidnapped your sister, Teresa, and cut out her eyeballs. So yeah, he's the guy that's responsible for Teresa's blindness, and that's why she's a blind seeress. So he's actually a pretty big deal, as a matter of fact. Let's destroy this. There's lots of puzzles in this area. I think it's also timed. If you don't hit the switches in time, they actually revert back. We haven't seen those switches in a really long time. I don't think we've seen those, I want to say, even since we were at the heroes area in the beginning of the game, where she gives you the lake seal and you go into the Bower Lake area and you meet Teresa and get your will experience. That was like the very, very beginning of the game. Alright, so you gotta sip on that switch. You'll hear a little, that little thing hit. All you gotta do is come back here, hit it with your ranged weapon, and then the gate will open up. And there are also lots of undead in here, so that's fun. This place is pretty straightforward, though. It's just got a lot of puzzles. I mean, this is not a tomb. This is a labyrinth. This could house, like, hundreds of heroes. I don't know why all these super crazy figureheads get tombs like this. I guess because he was so dastardly and evil or something. I don't know how these things work. There's also an expression statue. I don't think I can do an expression while I'm in combat, though. Let's see if I can take care of this guy. We don't see a lot of expression statues either. They seem to only really be in the graveyard. But this is definitely the chicken expression. So if we do that, then I do believe it opens up a door somewhere, if we keep following the path. Take out more hordes of undead. Same old story. Ah, God, they're hitting me. Stop it. I'm supposed to be the one defeating you. This is hardly fair. There we go. And kill this one with my gun, just for good measure. There we go. Up here, you need to go ahead and step on this, which will allow something to appear. It actually unlocks that gate up there. So you need to come into this room, step on that switch, and then you need to come back around this way. Come through here, step on this switch, and you can then go ahead and open up that door. Which is completely just unnecessary, but I guess they just wanted to make things longer than drawn out than they had to be, which I guess if you're gonna go hunt for a dead woman in a tomb of a 600-year-old guy that was the king of thieves, then they gotta make it a little challenging. It wouldn't be any fun otherwise. This would have also been a good quest to do in co-op, but there's just too much other things in the end that wouldn't really work in a co-op game, but there's lots of enemies to defeat, so this takes a little bit longer and I'm doing it on my own, but not too much longer. Alright, so now we need to hit this switch. It's gonna go around. And I think you need to hit it with your ranged weapon every single time. So just keep your weapon drawn and follow it, and it will eventually open up the door. Can I go through? No, I can't. Yes, I can. Thank you, game, for your slowed and delayed reaction. And then you can come in here, step on this switch, which opens the door out there. Totally unnecessary, I know. Like I said, they just wanted to make this area super complicated. I don't know why there's so many, like, switches, because you don't normally find a lot of puzzle-type areas in this game. It's not really a puzzle-type game, it's more like a destroy all the enemies with your super crazy weapons game. Nice spiral staircase, though. And we're actually at the end. Now this is interesting because you don't actually have to dig up her body this time, you can just find it. So if your dog is injured, then you're in luck, because you don't actually have to dig up her body. I'm just going to defeat these Hollowmen. And I think that that up there is Twinblade's body. Seems like an awfully big place for his body to be hiding. But if you go ahead and you open it up, I don't normally do this in co-op, I don't normally do this in recordings, but there is a silver key in here. And the reason I'm grabbing it is just because I don't want to come back here. So it looks like, yeah, that definitely looks like Twinblade, although he was a huge man. He was absolutely hulking. His body is definitely deteriorated in 600 years' time. There's also some chests to grab in the walls of this area. So you got yourself a health potion. I think that this wall is a shortcut out of this place, which is great, because that was a lot of walking. And then that wall looks pretty sturdy, so I think that's it. We're going to grab our second body part here. There's also a silver key if you want to grab that one. But now we have Lady Grey's upper body. You should wash your hands after touching this. Probably a great idea. And we also get the second note. So what do they have to say? There can be no more fitting location than the tomb of the infamous bandit Twinblade. May their foul, tormented souls be locked forever within these vaults. We salute the fallen witch-spotter comrades who so valiantly fought hordes of hollow men with nothing but pencils and small notebooks to make Albion safer. Now that is impressive, given how many hollow men were in here. Okay, so now we need to go back to the Gravekeeper and give him the upper body. When you leave this area, I do recommend leaving out of this door, just because it creates a nice shortcut. And also because on your way out, you can grab this nice silver key, and as far as I know, this is the only way to get it. Unless, of course, you want to go to Twinblade's tomb again, go all the way through, and come out here and grab it. Which I'm not really a fan of doing, so I'm going to grab that now. And before the video ends, I think I will go ahead and I will take the second body part back to the Gravekeeper, and we'll learn the location of the third body part. Okay, so I don't know why, but Victor stands in 3 different places for each body part you bring him. I guess he's sitting on the balcony, pondering life and why he has to have himself an undead girlfriend, but, here you go, Victor, here's your creepy Lady Grey torso.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. My poor Lady Grey. What did they do to you? At least your parts ended up in cool, dry places.
Creepy.
Oh, right, yes. Thank you so much. You're probably the closest thing I've ever had to a friend. Pathetic, isn't it? There's only one more part of her left to find, and it's in a vault somewhere in Fairfax Gardens. I'm sure you'll find the right tomb. I'd come with you, but, well, I try not to go out too much. I might run into people.
Okay, so the last body part is her head. Obviously, she was beheaded. So we need to go and we need to find that, and it's actually very close. It's in Fairfax Gardens, so we shouldn't have to travel too far to go and grab that head, and hopefully in the next video we'll be able to assemble a full and hopefully not zombie Lady Grey. So, thanks for watching everybody, and I hope that I will see you next time.